So I'm on my second node, which is my standby environment, and I'm going to execute the activation. Now, a quick check to make sure that I can activate it, because one thing you also need to keep in mind is you can only activate a standby database if it's consistent, meaning the control files and the data file headers are consistent. And a quick way to test that is to try and open up the standby database in a read-only state. If you can open up the standby database into a read-only state, you'll be able to successfully activate that standby database. So what we're going to do is to open it up in a read-only state. We can use the dbvisit -d, our DDC, and we use the option read. And what that will do is it will open up the standby database read-only. So it will attempt to do that. So I run that, and it completed successfully. So we can now see our standby database is open read-only, which means if I try and activate the standby database, that should be successful. So that's a very good and quick and easy way to test whether your standby database is consistent and ready to perform an activation. So what we want to do now is it's in a read-only state, and we want to take it back into a recovery state. So what we can do is we can just do the option restart, and what that will do is it will restart the standby database into a recovery state, which is what it normally would be in. And then once that's done, which is completed successfully there, we're going to start it up. And the command is pretty easy to do. You run dbvctl -d, your DDC name, -o, and the option now is activate. I press enter, and it then asks you, are you sure you want to do this? Because remember, when we activate the standby database, we are going to do an open reset logs. There's no turning back on once you've done that. I'm going to specify yes because I do want to open up. And we double check. Now in this case, I'm sure I want to activate this, and I specify yes. And it will then start the activation process for me. And this process can take a little bit of time. It is performing quite a few tasks behind the scenes in activating the standby database. And it's now successfully completed an activation of our standby database. And we do specify there that if you have activated this database, you will need to recreate the new your original primary database as a standby database.